I was born in Burbank, so I've always been in Los Angeles. I was born and raised into a Scientology family, actually third generation. My grandma is a Scientologist. All of my aunts and uncles are Scientologists. My cousins are Scientologists. Scientology is an applied religious philosophy. It was started by a man named L. Ron Hubbard.
According to the church, Scientology focuses on self-knowledge and self-help.
Basically, in the beginning stages, there's like life improvement courses where you learn about communication, you learn how to get along with others, financial planning, very basic stuff, which is all great.
A cornerstone of Scientology is their belief in reincarnation and that all beings are actually thetans.
A thetan is a spirit. That's it. It's you without the physical mass of your body. And, you know, Scientologists believe that you're not a body. You're the thetan, and the thetan moves on into other bodies.
At the age of 16, Amy decided to dedicate her life full-time to Scientology. She joined the Sea Organization, or the Sea Org.
Basically what it is it's people who have signed a billion-year contract because they believe in reincarnation.
Not all Scientologists are members of the Sea Organization. Only the most dedicated to furthering objectives of the religion. Members work and live full-time at Sea Org facilities.
When you first start, you really, really, truly believe you're on a crusade to save all of mankind. I so strongly wanted to help people. I was very quickly promoted up the ranks that I really started to realize something was off.
Long hours and limited contact with people outside of the Sea Organization started to take its toll.
You don't have an idea of what's going on in the real world. I don't have a cell phone, I don't have an internet, and I don't have TV. I'm an alien. You know what I mean?
That dedicates its entire existence to furthering the church's objectives. But Amy's faith in her cause started to waver.
And there was a few times for about 2 years where I would voice that I was having doubts about being here, and they would just say, well, the only reason you want to leave is because you've committed crimes here. So you feel bad and you want to run away. So I would, oh, you're right. And I convinced myself of that too. Like, if I want to leave, it's because I've done something wrong and it's my fault. And then you get all into your head, like, there must be something really wrong with me. And it's really depressing.
Amy's performance as a supervisor suffered to the point where she was taken off her job and reassigned to a correction program.
You basically do about 5 hours of heavy labor.
The correction program is where she fell in love with her future husband, Nikolai.
We just became really good friends. She would help me through hard times. I helped her through hard times.
They saw a future together, but not in Scientology or at the Sea Organization. One night, they slipped out and never looked back.
It was the scariest thing I've ever done. I can tell you right now, leaving is the scariest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
But even after she left the Sea Organization, Amy still wanted to remain in good standing with the church so she wouldn't be labeled a suppressive person or an SP.
A suppressive person is basically somebody who is bent on doing total destruction. They don't want any good to happen. When I left, I had no intention of being labeled a suppressive person.
That's because Amy's entire family is still actively involved in Scientology, and it's against the rules for Scientologists to communicate with SPs. The couple was forced to make a choice.
You see, Nikolai's family were all already declared suppressive people. So at that point it was like, well, you can either stop talking to Nikolai's parents or you can talk to Amy's parents.
It was a grueling decision. In the end, Nikolai and Amy were both declared SPs for, among other things, publicly departing Scientology, interacting with other SPs, willful obstruction of church operations, and mutiny. They were both forced into a state of what Scientology refers to as disconnection.
Disconnection is a policy whereby if someone is connected to somebody who is a suppressive person or doing something that is considered suppressive, they have to either handle them and handle it so they're not, antagonistic to the church anymore, or if the person won't handle, they're supposed to disconnect from them.
And with that, Amy lost all connection with her family. It's been 2 years since Amy and her husband were declared suppressive persons by the Church of Scientology, effectively cutting off all communication with her entire family, who are still actively involved in the church.
When I first left and I was first declared a suppressive person, there were about 3 times that I contacted my parents since then. And they did talk to me. They did pick up the phone. And all they're telling me is, get back in Scientology, get back in Scientology.
And now more than ever, Amy needs her family.
I'm 7 weeks pregnant right now, my first child. Obviously, I'd love to have my family in touch with me.
Now she's trying to get through to her parents and her sister the only way she knows how.
There's a group called Anonymous that has become huge. There's a lot of people who just feel the same way. They feel there's specific abuses in Scientology, the fact that they're tax exempt, and the whole fact that families have been torn apart, and they're trying to do something about it.
I'm looking for my husband.
I have at least 5 friends in Los Angeles area who are declared a suppressive person and who do not have any contact with their family members. So, you know, I'm not alone. I'm one story out of like thousands.
Amy's sister Kelly is still a member of the Sea organization.
Kelly's ex, Kelly's ex, Kelly's ex, Kelly's ex.
But guards will not tell her that Amy is outside.
I don't know why my sister can't come down and see me for 5 minutes. I haven't seen her in a year and a half. I'm pregnant. She's going to be an aunt. Why can't I tell her that? I demanded that she comes down so I can tell her she's going to be an aunt. And I asked all the security guards that I could find. I asked the men standing in front of the building, and they just ignored me.
Amy did not get to see her sister and tell her the news about her pregnancy, but she hopes her actions are somehow getting across to her family.
You know, I think that they now know that I'm protesting and I'm speaking out, and I don't consider myself an attacker of the church at all. Scientologists are generally really good people, just like me, who want to help the world. But I cannot forget the fact that I cannot call up my mom every day and chit-chat with her.
Now, 2 years out of Scientology, Amy is enjoying the tasks of everyday life.
Sometimes I get excited over the fact that I can just like walk out to a movie when I want to. I mean, that was never even a freedom I had.
As of now, Amy's only family is Nikolai's family. They regularly visit with his grandparents.
You're here, and that's the
We're
main
here now.
thing.
Yeah.
Forward. Fast forward.
Amy also spends time with her friend Jenna Hill. She's also an ex-Scientologist and was in the church with Amy.
I am 24 years old. My parents joined Scientology when I was 2 years old, so I was there from when I was 2 till I was 22.
She was a member of the Sea organization until she decided to leave.
When I first left, I was just really scared because I thought that because I was leaving, something bad was going to happen to me, because leaving is like so horrible. Like they say, if you leave staff, you're a degraded being.
Most of Jenna's family is still in the church. In fact, one of her uncles is the most powerful member of Scientology.
My uncle is David Miscavige. He is the current leader of the church. His position is chairman of the board, Religious Technology Center. He's basically considered the leader.
Which makes Jenna's stance against the church's disconnection policy especially bold.
What do you think is going to happen with your sister?
I hope she heard us and like she gets the news that she's going to be an aunt.
Now Jenna is trying to help Amy get back in touch with her family.
I mean, if anybody knows Amy, they know that she's a totally sweet, loving person. The idea that someone like Amy could be a suppressive person is absolutely like preposterous. It's ridiculous, you know? But this is the kind of thing that happens all the time. And so I basically just want to help Amy, you know, be able to see her family again.
It's been 2 years since Amy was declared a suppressive person by the Church of Scientology.
Oh, these are bib. This is a bib.
Now pregnant with her first child, she's not been able to share the good news with her family.
I would really like to tell my family what happened to me. I would love to be able to tell them my whole story, everything that I was told about them when I was in, everything I was made to do, all the things I wanted to tell them when I was in but couldn't.
It's not clear if Amy will ever get the chance to tell them, since the rest of her family are still active members of the church. But if she had to do it all again, she wouldn't change a thing.
I think I would have left even knowing I was never going to talk to my family again.
Now she's looking forward to her future and starting her own family.
When the baby's older, yeah, favorite people, favorite things. I feel like now I'm living my life for me. I'm doing the things I want to do. Nobody's telling me I can't do anything. I can talk to whoever I want to and not worry about, is someone going to find out about it? I just feel like I have complete control of everything I'm doing and complete freedom, and I've never felt it before, and it's really awesome.